Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing one of my favorite GPUs in my collection, the GeForce GTX Titan X in GTA 5 Enhanced Edition. This one is the reference GPU from Nvidia, it looks beautiful, and I am running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, which it still supports after 10 years, guys. Yes, this is a 10-year-old GPU, you can see it here in Tech Power Up's GPU Z, it released March 17th of 2015. It's really old at this point, and it has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Yes, my friends, you could get a GPU 10 years ago with the same VRAM amount of 5070, although this was a $1,000 GPU. This was really expensive. Moving on to the left, I am pairing it with a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM, just to avoid CPU bottlenecks. If you don't bottleneck it, you will achieve the same FPS, and let's get right into it, shall we? Alright guys, let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution using TAA, which, well, is the new form of anti-aliasing. MSAA is no longer here, and I'm using maximum settings down here. Obviously, ray tracing is disabled because this doesn't support it. But yeah, this GPU was the best graphics card available when GTA 5 first came out on PC in 2015. It came earlier on consoles, alright, 2013 by the way. So this was a heck of a GPU to play it on back in those days, and it did a fantastic job when I made my full video in GTA 5 with the Titan X. But that was a legacy version, which you can still play, by the way, so I recommend you to play that instead. If you have these old cards, it's gonna run better. But for a little bit of a comparison, this was getting 100 FPS at 1440p very high settings in the legacy game. And over here, we're at 1080p getting around 80 to 90 frames per second instead. So quite a bit lower, unfortunately. But I mean, it's still a completely playable experience. And if you guys are playing at 1080p resolution with this card, I don't think many people are actually using this in 2025, but if you are, well, it's still gonna handle the Enhanced Edition absolutely fine, maxed out without the ray tracing, which, well, it can't really enable, unfortunately. Also, should we go with this huge truck? Yeah, let's do that. Also, if you take a look at the GPU temperatures, it is at 83 degrees Celsius, but that's by design. It will just ramp up to that number and then adjust the fan speed to keep the 83 degrees Celsius temperature there, and clock speeds and everything are totally under control. They're not throttling or anything because of the temperature. It's by design. But yeah, guys, aside from a couple of stutters here and there, which is just due to the fact that this game is now running DirectX 12 and it's not as stable, unfortunately, as the X11 in GTA, it is a really smooth experience. 1% lows at 65. My goodness, this is terrible. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I really didn't mean to come here. Actually, I did, but I didn't. I don't want to kill these NPCs. The poor things. You know what? Maybe we should honk. Goodbye. Get out! Get out! You know what? Let's think of them as being Bob's supporters, guys. Okay? Because that way we shouldn't feel bad. Yes. Maybe here in Jack's Hill... can this actually go up? Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. Anyway, it is actually going. In Jack's Hill, with a lot of vegetation and stuff, it does drop a little bit, but only into the 60s still, so it's not dropping from 60 FPS. That's pretty nice, guys. Alright, finally dropping into the 50s here in this area. Extremely intensive, of course. I should definitely grab another car. Where's Bob? Ah, there he is. Goodbye, bye. I missed. You know what? This is terrible car to go here. Wait a second. Goodbye, Bob, I said. Let's grab that van over there. Today is the day of very bad cars, my friends. Also, yeah, I totally forgot, but we can use this. Make it rain. And it should make it rain. Extra sunny weather. I'm confused. Why does make it rain make clear weather? Oh, it changes the weather. Okay. Wait a second. Wait. Make it rain. Cloudy weather. All right, we're getting somewhere, guys. Okay. Make it rain. Smoggy weather? That's crappy. Please stop. You know what? I need invincibility as well. Painkiller. There we go. We're invincible now, so we can change the weather freely. There we go, finally rainy weather. It's actually less intensive, look at that. Getting close to 100 FPS, previously it was getting 80s. Interesting. This would be awesome with the ray tracing enabled though. So next time I will bring an RTX GPU to try out ray tracing with the rainy weather, okay? Now that I know how to use the cheat, you know. But yeah, anyway, if you were wondering about the FPS and the performance while it's raining here, it's pretty much the same, if not better, right? Because at least standing still, it was a little bit better than the sunny weather. Probably because sun has more shadows and stuff like that, and it gets more intensive that way, ambient occlusions and so on. But yeah, over here, not a problem. Now, something that I don't like in this game is the fact that the TAA, man, it's pretty much needed. I wish we could utilize MSAA still in the enhanced edition, because 2 times or 4 times here, at least on higher end GPUs, it would be doable even on the enhanced edition, and it would look way sharper than freaking TAA. But that's a minor issue, I guess. A lot of people will still enjoy it with TAA, of course. And it's good to see that the Titan X only drops from 60 FPS very slightly in some situations at 1080p resolution. But since it runs 1080p so well, let's go up to 1440p resolution, still using the same highest settings here, aside from RT. Wow, okay, so it doesn't really drop the FPS by a lot. I was thinking it would drop like crazy, but no. 1440p is still super viable here. However, we need to change the weather again to the most intensive one. Okay, this is really pretty though. Like the puddles and the reflections on the puddles and everything. Again, not using ray tracing, but I think it looks great anyways. I'm not sure how it compares with the Legacy version, because this is something that I didn't try in the Legacy version of this game, guys. I never really made it rain, you know, or thunderstormy and stuff like that. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so it's dropping into the 50s, by the way. I'm starting the FPS counter right now. I don't think I've ever seen GTA being this gorgeous. GTA 5, I mean. Even without the ray tracing, guys. The reflections, the puddles, the rain, it looks great in my opinion. Damn, I like that. And it's still achieving 60-ish frames per second. See, if you want to play GTA Enhanced Edition without the ray tracing, obviously, you can do so with 10-year-old hardware just fine. I think even the GTX 980 Ti would be capable of playing this absolutely fine. Actually, that GPU is pretty much the same in performance as the Titan X, but with half the VRAM size, so 6 GB. And with 6 GB, it would still be completely under control. You can see that at 1440p, it's only allocating 5.8 GB. Maybe it would slightly run out of VRAM every once in a while, but not really that big of an issue. You could just lower down the textures to high or something, and that would be completely fine. They wrecked my car, guys. Anyway, guys, it's time for us to visit Jack during this weather. Is he out there, actually? I'm not sure. Probably not, right? He's probably at home right now, not hanging around his hill. Although, his hill might be his home, because he's always there. Okay, going here, dropping down into the low 50s at times. Right, much more intensive, my friends. Look at that. Jack is here to see us. Beautiful. Anyway, let's keep on going, guys. Over here, we're getting 40s. Yeah, not too bad. Bob is not here, so Bob is completely gone at this point. All right. I'm glad because we killed him, so he shouldn't be here again, obviously, right? Also, if you're wondering why the game sometimes looks out of focus, is because of the depth of field. I don't love that effect, but I'm still using it because I want to try it on the maximum settings that the GPU allows, aside from motion blur. That I cannot stand. Oh boy, too many people. What are you doing? Why are you crashing against my car? Oh boy, okay. I just want this one. This looks better for a thumbnail. What is this guy doing as well? Oh my! NPC behavior is so weird sometimes. Look at him. He's gonna do the same thing again, and he crashed against me. You gotta be kidding me. Stop. Stop. Okay, go. You fit there. Don't. There's no need to do that. You can fit there. Let's go. I will help you. I will help you. Don't go backwards. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm really curious to see this kind of weather with the ray tracing, guys. That should be absolutely amazing. It's already pretty amazing, actually. But yeah, 60 FPS average, almost. With a little bit of an overclock on this GPU, it would actually be able to achieve that. And that's amazing. Once again, it's 1440p resolution. Obviously, it's a far cry from what it used to be in the legacy version. It was getting 100 FPS or close to it, never dropping from a 60 FPS at 1440p very high, not maximum, again. And here it does drop a little bit into the 50s, but not too much. And maybe 40s sometimes in bushy areas. It's still very playable, though. I don't really have much to complain about in terms of performance here with the Titan X. I'm liking the experience. But what about 4K resolution? It used to be playable on the Titan X at around 40 to 50, actually 50 to 60 most of the time. And this time around at 4K resolution, highest settings, well, it's still okay. I thought it was going to get 20s, actually. After seeing 60 FPS for so long, 30s looked really crappy there for a second, but it's still getting 30 plus on the enhanced edition. I mean, I can't be mad about this. It's also really smooth. I think something happened. Maybe the new drivers stopped the stuttering issues that I was having with the 5090, because that was really unstable, guys. Or maybe it was just the ray tracing introducing a ton of stuttering there with that video. Or it could have been a couple of updates that have happened in between. So tons of variables here. You can't really compare the fact that this is a smooth experience in terms of frame time, at least, with that other GPU. And I guess I might want to retest the 5090 in this one because, well, we haven't tested the reflections with rainy weather, and we also haven't tested the latest update with the driver that supposedly is for this game. But anyway, guys, you can see in grassy areas, it does drop from 30 FPS. It actually stays below 30 FPS more often than not, unfortunately. It depends on where you are. Obviously, if you are over here in the city, it will be above 30 FPS more often. If you go to Jack's Hill, which is where I like to hang out the most, obviously, it is going to drop a lot of frames. But still, the cinematic experience is possible, guys. Look at the graphics. They look really awesome right now with this current lighting that we're seeing. Again, maybe the legacy also had puddles and reflections and stuff like that, as beautiful as these. I just happen to have never tested that, so can't really comment on it. I can only comment on what I'm seeing right now, and I think it is definitely beautiful. This lighting over here is also very different from the legacy, though, when sunset, and I do like it a lot. Now, what can we do to improve things? Obviously, you could lower down the settings over here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take advantage of the new frame scaling that they introduced, FSR3 on quality. Hopefully, it's going to do a good job at that. And nope. So this is an unsupported GPU. I think the support starts with GTX 1070, and this is older. It's a generation older, it's also an architecture older, so you don't really gain a ton of performance by using FSR quality, unfortunately. However, you do gain a couple of FPS. It doesn't make it worse like it did on a GT 1030, for example. So at least there's that, and maybe it's enough to put us above 30 FPS inside of bushes. I really doubt it, though. It's already dropping into the low 30s. But I'm gonna try it anyways. Alright, so grassy area, not dropping our FPS. It doesn't drop as much in grassy areas as it does in Legacy, by the way. This is less intensive in grass. At least they actually optimized the grass this time around, which is great to see. Hi, Jack. How are you going? Oh, look at that beautiful sunset with Jack. That was the sighting of heavens, my friends. Over here, it's dropping into the 20s, though. Yeah, so it's not going to be 30 plus all of the time with FSR quality, unfortunately, but it looks really good. Let's try it on performance, though. This will render the game at 1080p resolution and upscale it to 4K. And that's enough to put us above 30 FPS all of the time. Nope, not really. Dropping down into the 20s still. I saw 29 there for a second, but I mean, it won't really happen very often, so it's playable like this. You could lock it to 30, especially if you overclock the card. These are very good overclockers, the Maxwell series. Yeah, you could definitely get it to be playable, and it still looks surprisingly good. Obviously, the way to go is probably with Legacy. At 4K especially, you gain a lot of performance there. Again, 50 to 60 instead of 20 to 35. Much better. But if you don't mind playing with FSR and 30 FPS, this is also a pretty decent option, not gonna lie. It's better than what I was expecting without FSR, but a little bit worse than what I was expecting with FSR, since FSR is not really improving the FPS as much as it should have been, in my opinion. So instead of using FSR3, I'm gonna try FSR1. Does it have ultra quality? It does. So let's see how it looks at the 4K resolution. Not too bad. And it's getting the same FPS as performance FSR, but this is ultra quality FSR1, of course, which does look worse. However, comparing performance FSR3 with ultra quality FSR1, this might actually look a little bit crisper and less noisy, for sure. So he also got a little bit of headroom there to lower down FSR1, and if we use like quality, maybe it's still going to look good. Yes, it does look great. Oh boy, look at that sunset once again, and the God rays as well. That's nice. But yeah, this is now getting 40-ish frames per second consistently. This is quite nice. Not too bad. I could play like this, dropping into the 30s right now. Let's see it in bushy areas. Oh, come on. I thought I was going to crash there. 30s. Maybe near Bob's bushes. It will drop a little bit further. 35, 33, 31. But it doesn't drop anymore from 30. So if you want that experience, 30 FPS, FSR1 is your friend. There's no need to drop down the quality of the settings further than this. Oh, I also want to see the mirrors here. So no ray tracing, yet it's still really nice. So you guys were telling me, I was very impressed with the reflections on the mirrors previously, and I thought it was because of ray tracing. Apparently no, it still looks amazing. But the reason why I reloaded the previous save game is because I wanted to take a better look at the FSR1 quality mode, and this is better because it's daytime. We can clearly see the things, the edges of stuff. It's pretty good, actually. I mean, it's definitely softer. You can tell it's not running at native resolution, but I would be fine with this, honestly. And now we're back to the FPS that we were getting in the legacy version with the Titan X, 50 to 60 most of the time with very high settings at 4K native. It's not native, but it still looks really good. So if you want the enhanced edition, it's definitely playable on something like a GTX 980 Ti or a GTX Titan X. Although the 980 Ti would probably run out of VRAM here at 4K. This is going slightly above 6 gigabytes of usage. And that's been it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed this look at this 10-year-old GPU running a recent version, a modern version of GTA 5. I certainly did enjoy it. I'll catch you in the next one very soon, and as always, love you all. Bye-bye.